been happening by my place too. Oh, hi.
Tell me something I want to know. Yeah. Everyone calls me a selfish lady.
What does he say at the beginning? Like a great artist is like a great meme.
A great thief.
So, in the English dub, every time he says it, it sounds like he says a great meme. So we're just like, yeah.
They both know how to steal your soul. Mm-hmm. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Screen Weens, where we, London and Thomas, talk about movies and also Lupin for the last month and a half.
You know, love Lupin.
Love Lupin. Hinata finished. She didn't watch. She watched maybe like half of the episodes with me. And then last night she was like, so is next week part 5? And I said, I don't know. We'll see.
Probably not. I'd probably want to order part 5 before we cover it. That way I could have the English dub and just like watch it.
Just watch it on High Dive.
Oh, is it on High? Is the dub?
Yep. High Dive has all the dubs. High Dive has all of Lupin, the shows, except for part 3.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But yes, welcome to episode 146 or 7. I think it might be 7. Let's check. 147. We're going to be covering Lupin the Third, Part 4, The Italian Adventure.
Yes. Which
is the first Lupin series after a woman called Fujiko Mine and like. So, if you don't include that, it's not any mainline Lupin series in like 30 years. Yeah. Because it was like 85, I think, was when part 3 was going on. I think it was like 85 to 87. And this was 2012, like I think. So yeah, we'll be talking about that today. But first, we're going to talk about life. Thomas, what's new? What have you been up to?
Excuse me. So I've been reading The Witcher this week for an upcoming episode of Read Weens, maybe. And then, let's see. I watched Lupin the Third Part 4, and I watched a couple of the specials. I lose track of which ones I talked about in the last weeks, but some of the more recent ones I watched were like Dragon of Doom.
I love that one.
Yeah, that one was good.
I love that one.
Tokyo Crisis, which I thought was alright. I thought it was a little long.
That's fair. I remember really enjoying that one. I remember the music sucking. Like, at least in comparison. Because I feel like there's a lot of, like, 90s and 80s Lupin movies that I really, really dig the music. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't like the Tokyo Crisis ones.
Yeah. Secret of the Twilight Gemini.
I think that was the last one you talked about. Okay. Also, Tokyo Crisis is the one that really has a lot of, like, Zenigata stuff, right?
Yeah, that was the main bulk of that movie that I liked.
I remember really, really liking that stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. And I didn't finish it because it was like super late when I was watching it, but I watched the first half of the Columbus Files, and then it hit like a stopping point where I was like, this actually feels like a pretty good stopping point. I'm tired, so I stopped, and then I just haven't picked it back up. So I might watch the second half of that here soon.
But sweet.
Yes. Lupin the Third.
Yeah. I did not watch any Lupin outside of Part 4. Mm-hmm. I did a couple of things. You know, it's been a busy week. It was Pierre's birthday, so we're out and about. We watched Edge of Tomorrow, Tom Cruise movie. It's like Groundhog Day in the war zone.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that one. It's pretty good.
I haven't seen it, but I'm aware of it. Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah. Based on a Japanese novel that was later adapted into All You Need Is Kill, the manga, which Pierre really enjoyed.
Written by the author of Death Note. At least the manga was, I believe. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Maybe.
Maybe you're thinking of Platinum's End.
No, I know Platinum End is... I think it's drawn by the guy who does the art for Death Note, not the writer. Because it's like... I'm pretty sure it's 2 people who work on Death Note, but I might be completely wrong.
I don't know. I only watch good movies. Speaking of which, I watched Minions 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A classic film.
Oh.
It was okay.
I saw it, but I didn't have my suit, so...
I dressed as a minion. I didn't. I had overalls and a yellow shirt on.
Nice.
And we saw it at the funniest time available, which was 10:30 p.m. And, there were a lot of people seeing it. I guess, ironically, there was a lot of cheering in that movie.
Ah, I see.
A lot of clapping. It was very fun. It was a fun experience. Movie itself, it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't hate the Minion movies. I think they're better than the second two Despicable Me movies. Like, I think they're perfectly watchable and they have some fun moments. But
yeah, no, I'd probably hate those just because that's how I be. And yes, it is the same artist. For All You Need Is Kill and Death.
Same artist as Death Note? Okay.
Yeah.
So same artist and then same writer for Death Note and Platinum End. Is that right?
I believe Platinum End is like the reunion of the artist and the author.
It's like Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. It's like a classic.
And I don't know, they both might have wrote Bakuman too. Or been
Bakugan, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I watched, I kind of wanted to just watch like a small little documentary. So I did D.A. Pennebaker. They did a documentary, 1970 of the original cast recording for Company, the Broadway musical. So it's like half like just watching the cast recording, half like a documentary about Stephen Sondheim being a weirdo. It was pretty great. He's a weirdo.
Okay.
You were watching it and it was like, this is the best performance I've ever seen in my fucking life. And he's like, it sucked. He was just like, let's try that again. But he says it in like kind of a nice way, but he's kind of a dick. But at least he's not like an abusive dick. Yeah. He's just like, maybe we can, let's just do it again right now.
Yeah, I've seen some videos of him like teaching just on YouTube, but he didn't really come across as much as a dick, as much as he was trying to like get something specific. But obviously, I haven't seen this Company documentary. So.
Well, most of it is he's a nice guy, but
I see.
He's just a weirdo, which I like. And then we finished Umbrella Academy season 3. Holy fuck, that's literally like the worst television I've seen in like 2 years.
No.
Like, Garrett, it's so fucking bad. I hated it.
Yeah.
It was so awful. I don't like season 1 or 2, but there are at least moments I enjoy. I think there was like a 3-minute scene in season 3 that I liked. And that was it. And we finished Stranger Things season 4. The last 2 episodes came out. That also was not very good. I will say at least it was fucking better than Umbrella Academy. Like, because there are whole chunks that I really like of the new Stranger Things season. Like, I think there is a season in there that's good. Mm-hmm. And then there's also, like, just a bunch of fucking extra hours of stuff that just don't matter. Mm. And, like, they're still too scared to, like, do anything, really powerful. It's, exactly who's gonna die. It's just not... It's not a very fun show to watch. It's like, cool, I know exactly what's going to happen. And the stuff that I don't know I just don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
But season 5...
Yeah.
Which will be the final season. So I'm mostly just like... I'm like 4 seasons in, I'm like, I gotta finish it. I'm not gonna just not watch the final season.
Yeah, you've already dedicated this much time to it. Might as well see it through.
I'm just like, what if it's good? But it's not. And it's so funny because people keep going like, oh my god, the Duffer Brothers are such geniuses. Before they even started season 1, they had this big outline of everything they were gonna do with the show. I'm like, then why does it always feel like they don't know what the fuck they're doing in the later seasons? It's like so annoying. I'm like, you did not have any of this plan. Yeah, you had an outline of the world, but that's it. That's not like a story outline.
Yeah.
And it just makes me want to rewatch season 1 because I know I'll rewatch season 1 and be like, that's some good shit right there.
Yeah. Well, I can see that.
And then I've been reading just a little bit, just off and on, just some random things. I picked up a Lupin It's a collection of the original short stories of the original Lupin, but it has illustrations every couple pages in the style of like Miyazaki's like Castle of Cagliostro. It's very delightful. It's fun. I'm going to try to maybe start getting an original Lupin just to see if I like it.
Yeah, I was looking at some box sets of it online, and seems like be a pretty interesting read. I hear it's a little dated with some of the particular language it decides to use.
That sounds right.
But, what isn't from back then, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, that's been my week.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's answer some questions.
Oh shit, we got questions.
From Pierre.
Okay.
Question 1. Most racist protagonist. I don't know, any fucking John Wayne movie. Have you seen The Searchers? It's a pretty rough one. I mean, I think there are plenty of examples of protagonists that are racist because they're not the good guy.
Yeah,
like you don't.
American History X, maybe?
Especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
He literally curb stomped someone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably movies that go with an even worse point of view then, because at least he kind of like tries to reform himself by the end. But I'm sure there are probably movies out there with worse. Probably like, what's the name of it? D.W. Griffith's fucking magnum opus.
I was about to say Song of the South. Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, probably Birth of a Nation.
Oh, you're gonna love not next week, but once we're done with Lupin, I'm only picking D.W. Griffith movies.
Oh boy,
fuck that.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting episode. Okay.
I mean,
yeah, I'm probably gonna go Birth of a Nation. Seems like the safest bet.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you remember the movie Don't Mess with the Zohan?
Yeah.
Bad.
I never particularly liked that one. So.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many movies from, like, there's a 40-year span of just white people in blackface.
Yeah. No, that's
so I guess it just depends on when you look at the era, because you can just kind of throw a rock in that general direction. You're probably going to land on an extremely racist character.
Yeah. Probably some of the characters from In the Heat of the Night, although they probably wouldn't be like the most racist, but some of them.
Well, and Pierre said protagonist, I guess. So.
Yeah, because the sheriff in that, he's crossing that line back and forth throughout that entire fucking movie, but.
Yeah. Putting your AirPods away. Question 2. Who is the best Cars character?
Hold on. I've got an answer for this.
Are you about to say Guido?
Is that the one that's Lupin's car?
Yeah. It's either Guido or Luigi.
I think it's Luigi.
It's Luigi, yes. Guido is the other guy.
Yeah, Luigi for sure. Just because
it's Lupin.
Just because he's Lupin's vehicle.
Yeah. I also like the old lady who's like, "What did you say?"
Was that in the first one?
Yeah. I
haven't watched Cars in a very long time.
Just wait until next week. I keep saying that, but it's your pick. So.
Yeah, it's just like...
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Question 3. When are you going to watch Geostorm?
Geostorm?
When you put it in the bag.
Yeah. Well,
Pierre, I come over all the time and you're like, can we watch Geostorm? And I'm like, sure. And then you just don't want to watch it. If you want to watch it, then let's watch it. Or do you need Thomas to watch it? Answer us next week.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Let's do it. Lupin Part 4.
Okay.
I think that there's...
Hold on. Before we get into the good of this show, because I'm sure we'll mostly be saying probably mostly positive things, I gotta take the time to just whip out the fucking big negative right in the beginning. I fucking hate how lazy the intro to this anime is. It's so lazy. Like, the song itself is fine. I think it goes
I like the
for way
first
too
song,
long.
and I like the vocals, the other song too. I really like that song, so maybe I was fine with it going on.
There's nothing wrong with the music. I'm talking purely the visuals. It's just literally scenes from the anime, just kind of like with some like weird filters over top, and then they'll like use like the promotional art just like way too close, and you can see like dead pixels and shit. It's just like, oh my god, like that's pretty bad. Yeah,
definitely. I liked the song so much that I didn't skip the intro ever, which is something that I usually never do for anime. So it definitely, I was just like, the first couple times I'm like, this is fine, but and then I'm like, when they started playing this new song, I'm like, oh, maybe the intro will be different. I'm like, and it doesn't. They didn't even really sync it up to the song either. I'm like, they really just, which is sad because I think the outro is very funny.
Yeah, I think the outro
there's that picture of fucking Goemon in front of the printer.
Yeah, I think the outro is also a similar. Like, I just don't know if they didn't have a budget or if they were just being lazy. At least the outro had kind of a concept and a charm behind it where it's like, we'll just like put it around the animation office. And it's like, okay, I get that. It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, that intro is just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Lupin's visual for intros have ever been like super high tier. Like, you'll never see him on like somebody's top 10 intro lists on most cases, I think. The woman called Fujiko Mine has got a pretty interesting intro.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Intro did not do it for me. And I also didn't... I get the function of it, but I did not care for having that. I'm Lupin.
I loved
master.
it. I was about to say,
I'm the most...
I'm Zenigata.
Yeah, it's just like... Okay, cool.
I'm an Interpol agent with one goal in mind. Capture and arrest Lupin.
Yeah, it's like... You see these characters for 2 seconds, and it's pretty apparent what roles they slide into.
I thought it was cute. I liked it, but I get it, especially because it's in every episode. Including like the 2-part episodes. Like, you don't need to put it at the beginning of a second part.
Right. It's like, put a recap or something. But, nah. But yeah. I guess we can just start talking about the broader show now.
Yeah. So, Lupin Part 4 introduces kind of a lot of new stuff, including like a new central character. Rebecca.
For, I think, just this series. She might show up in...
I think she kind of has a couple... She's not... I looked it up. I think she's in like one episode of Part 5. Like, she shows up later. But... And I think that your enjoyment of Part 4 really hinges on if you like Rebecca as a character or not.
I think it can. I think there's a lot of space in the show where she's not really that relevant. Like,
but there's, I guess, like as a whole, there are big chunks that are super related to Rebecca as a character. And if you don't like her and her story, I could understand not liking her. I really liked Rebecca. At least for the most part, I really liked all the newer characters in this. Daniel Craig's in the show, or Nix, who's literally modeled after Daniel Craig's 007. And then he goes into his weird murder rage. And then the spoilers for the second half of the series, but the main antagonist later on is a clone of Leonardo da Vinci. Which is wild.
Yeah.
It was so funny because Pierre and Joe watched like the first couple episodes with me, and then yesterday I'm like, hey, you guys want to finish this with me? I'm like, okay, guys. Just a couple things happened. Leonardo da Vinci was cloned, and his the dream version of his psyche was taken out of the dream dimension and put into his head. And I'm just like, man, I wonder if Thomas is at the point that he likes the more like weirder stuff in Lupin. Because if he doesn't, he's gonna be like, I'm not a fan of this.
No, I was not a fan of that.
Okay.
I thought I allowed it. I let that cloning shit slide with Mystery Amamo because I thought Mystery Amamo was like good enough on its own with like the story it was trying to tell. I really like part 4, but I think like the 4 episodes where it's trying to have like a canon story, I'm not super into it.
Yeah, I was expecting something like that. I really this I think might be my favorite thing from Lupin. But I like that type of stories in Lupin. How were you feeling about the like more supernatural episodes that weren't like connected, like the haunted hotel and the car?
I liked both those episodes. I thought those episodes were fine. I thought that it was just enough to where it didn't like cross like a line. And I get it. I don't even mind when Lupin crosses that like, yeah, this is just totally absurd fucking nonsense, convoluted bullshit, but it's happening. But yeah, I wasn't super thrilled with it on this one. I just thought the main bulk of the story was kind of When it comes to Rebecca, I thought Rebecca was fine. I didn't dislike Rebecca, but I also didn't get a whole lot out of her character. She just kind of felt like a younger Fujiko with like a Batman backstory and her own like Alfred. And also endless supply of money that she can just fucking do shit.
Yeah, I really like certain aspects of Rebecca as a character, and I like this idea that she's just buying things to try to impress Lupin or to try to chase these thrills. And I do like her butler. He's fun. But I do think that it kind of pulls most of the time when she's pulling away from a character, like pulling time away from a character, it happens to be Fujiko, which is annoying. I think there was enough space to have Fujiko be more prominent. I think that's my main gripe with this. It's not like necessarily, I like all the Rebecca stuff mostly. I feel like we just didn't, because Fujiko's like one of my favorite characters.
The same.
And I think actually the only episode I didn't like really like is one of the bonus episodes. So I don't even really like count it against the season because it's like not even.
Yeah, what
but it was
were the two?
It was Venice of the Dead, which I like that one fine.
I thought it was kind of. I was watching that one. I was kind of like the whole time.
Yeah. But and then the one where she's telling the story of like the train one, where she's captured on the train.
I do really like that.
That one
I like that one, but the philosophies in it are kind of like.
I like certain parts of it. I like Zenigata and Lupin like being stuck, and Zenigata keeps eating his sushi and all this stuff. But I don't know what it was. That episode felt like they had like 10 minutes of footage, and they're like, what the fuck do we do? Like, all the scenes just felt really long to me. But other than that, I had a fucking blast with this series. But I expect that once we watch part 5, I think that might, from what I know about part 5, I think that'll probably be your favorite.
Yeah.
Because they're back in France. I think it's supposed to kind of be like a return to form.
Yeah, because I think instead of having like a big supernatural plot, I would really like it if over the course of the season, if they were like trying to build up to like one really big heist.
That's fair. I also don't like. It's interesting because they have like a halfway season like finale. They have a lot of stuff going on with Nyx. And I think they could have just had Nyx be the primary antagonist.
Yeah, I think I would have liked that way more.
I like the Da Vinci stuff. I think it's goofy, and I also like the like philosophy stuff around him. But I think Nyx is a pretty cool character. I like this thing where he's like seems unbeatable, and he's using like echolocation by tap. Like he's fun and grandiose without being like magic.
I think Nyx's Superior would have been a good antagonist, too.
Mm-hmm.
Could have whipped out some more, like, Nyx is just, like, the tip of the iceberg when it comes to these, like, super agents or whatever.
It seems like Nyx is only in this season, though. And I think that... Because 4, 5, and 6 have such a... From what I've seen, have such a, like, close style, I guess, and tone.
I think Part 5 also does the blue jacket, doesn't it?
I think Part 5... And
Part 6
goes back to, like, green. But even that, it's, like, a darker... It's kind of like a blend between the blue and green.
Yeah.
I really like the blue jacket, by the way. I think that might be my favorite color on Lupin.
Yeah, I like it. I
also just love it when Lupin takes off his jacket.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, why do they make him hot?
I think my favorite is probably green jacket, but I'm rooting for a purple jacket at some point.
That's fair. I think purple would be great. But yeah, so... I guess what was your least favorite episode, if you remember?
Probably honestly Venice of the Dead.
Okay.
I thought that's the one that sticks out the most to me. That
on the DVD, they weren't just put, because you watch this on Blu-ray, right?
Yeah.
They weren't just put at the end, were they?
No.
Because that's where they're placed on the streaming services. So I watched them where they would have been.
Yeah, no, I watched them as if they were just episodes of the show. Like Venice of the Dead, I want to say is like...
It's like 6 in or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that. It was on the first disc. And then... yeah, the other one with the train was towards...
I think it's right before the final, like, 3 or something like that.
But yeah,
they just don't really feel they don't really feel cohesive to the rest in like their tone and their style and their execution. Like I like them fine enough. I didn't dislike any of these episodes pretty much, but yeah, they just kind of felt out of place. They felt like extras, which they were.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't even. Because I watched through it all, like, in the last couple days, so it's all kind of a blur. Let me pull up an episode list. That way I have some visual representation to bring me back. I know episodes I really liked were...
yeah, we can just go to episodes we like, too.
Yeah, probably save the dislike for... I mean, I didn't much care for the, like... final two or the mid-season final. Like I thought those were kind of like
so you didn't like the 2-parter that was like the finale with Nyx or whatever?
I don't think I liked either of the 2-parters very much.
What about
there were elements that I probably liked throughout.
Okay. I really liked the first 2-parter, and I really liked the follow-up to that, which was the end of Lupin. I thought that episode was so fun.
The end of Lupin.
That's when Zenigata's just guarding him.
Oh, yeah.
And Lupin's just pretending to be dying.
Yeah, no, I like that one. That one's a throwback to, like, one of my favorite Part 1 episodes where he gets caught by Zenigata, so, like, the entire time he just, like, is in prison. He's like, I'm not Lupin! He swapped out with me! And he's just like... Yeah, at the end he asks for the same thing. He's like, can I get a smoke and a shave? I want to be good when I go to meet the devil. Or look good when I go to meet the devil and shit. I like that one quite a bit. Let's see. Episodes I really liked. I want to say I liked the Jigen episode, but I don't even remember what happened in it.
I love that episode.
What?
He goes... I don't remember how he gets to the town. I think he might just be, like, wandering around
it's the one with the doc.
And he has a toothache.
Yeah.
And he goes to this, like, doc. He's like, hey, doc.
Yeah. I need painkillers. Yeah, I like that episode quite a bit. I like the toothache because I think it's the Columbus Files or Tokyo Crisis. I don't remember which one. But throughout, like, an entire one of those specials... he has a toothache and he's basically like out of commission the whole time, and Goemon's sword was like stolen from him, so they're both like useless for like half the movie. until like he gets punched in the face and his tooth flies.
Like, oh, I'm fine.
It's like, yes, I can shoot again. But yeah, so I liked the amount of like kind of throwbacks throughout the series, because obviously this is like the first mainline series in a long time, so I think they were trying to like hit that nostalgic factor a lot, because there's like the whole cloning aspect, which is very very Mystery of Mamo. Mm-hmm. There's obviously the throwback episode to like part 1 and the toothache, and I'm sure there's probably other stuff that I've missed just because I haven't seen like all the specials and all the episodes. Did Goemon ever get like his own episode?
Yeah, he had a Requiem for the Assassins.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which is apparently like one of the highest rated episodes. I like that episode quite a bit. It's a lot like darker tonally. Mm-hmm. Like there are a couple episodes in this that are just really like kind of brutal. I think I really like that episode.
Yeah, I liked the Haunted Hotel episode. That would have been the perfect setup for a Scooby-Doo crossover special.
That episode just feels like a Scooby-Doo episode, like for the most part. That might be one of my favorite episodes from the series. Yeah. But it's also just really sad at the end. I'm like, what the fuck? He just sees the skeleton of this. He's like, you won't be alone anymore. And then just like cuts the credit. I'm like, oh my god! Yeah. I don't think it's as sad. I think that car episode is the sad. I'm like, what the fuck? Because there's just like, I miss you so much. And she just dies. He's like, let's sit here for a while and watch the sunset. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And yeah, he just launches the car. Me and he were just kind of looking at each other. We're like, what
the fuck just happened?
But yeah, I think that episode's really, really good. I think the Zenigata episode, I really like that one. The one with the like woman who's a widow to the media mogul.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. I didn't mind that one.
I like Zenigata's line at the end. It was like, I saw a woman crying and I had to step in.
Right. Yeah.
Which is like, that's what Lupin would do. And he says the same thing in another episode. I'm like, they're like the same person.
Yeah. Two sides of the same coin. Let's see. What else? Lupin's Day Off was a pretty fun episode. That's the one with the dog.
Yeah. No, I like that because Goemon has to, at one point, they're going down the hill and they're like, stop on the brakes. He's like, which one's the brake?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, that's so great. It's like, why did you guys let him be the...
And he's the one walking the dog and he's just like, hey, Lupin. And he just holds up the leash and the dog's not there.
Yeah, the dog was having a...
He's like, we have a problem. And Lupin's like, he's like, I already apologized. And Lupin says something like, do you mean when you said we have a problem, that was your apology? And he's like, yes.
Yeah. That was pretty good. I liked that one. Lovesick Pig was okay.
I think that might be my least favorite episode.
Like, I didn't mind it, but I think it's a tired trope.
Yeah, it just gives me an icky feeling. Like the ideas surrounding it. Also the like weird twist at the end, like I'm like, why? Yeah. What is that?
They made it so close to Lupin not being creepy with the fact that they drank like a mind-altering potion. And then at the very end, he was like, all right, now that the mystery's solved, let's fucking do this. And they just both kick him.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right.
I don't mind, like I said, I don't necessarily dislike that episode, but it's just like, I think that's probably my least favorite, but...
Yeah.
I think the first episode's really good. It's a good, like, intro to the characters, good intro to Rebecca. I like a lot of the stuff surrounding it.
Yeah, I like that one, too. What was the second episode?
Second episode was him. He has to steal the medical records of the soccer player who's, like, doping.
Yeah, I thought that one was alright.
Yeah. I think that one's, like, a pretty good episode. It's just a really weird, like, episode to follow up the like, wedding one. It just feels like an off episode, but it also doesn't really feel like it could fit anywhere else. It's just a weird episode, like, to put somewhere in the series.
Yeah, another connection to part 2, because second episode of part 2 is the one where they steal the big like Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's also a soccer episode. So
Yeah, there's apparently a lot of soccer episodes of Lupin.
It doesn't surprise me. It's a pretty popular sport.
I think third episode is Introduction to Nyx, and I think that episode's really good.
Yeah, I like that one.
And then fourth episode is Jigen. Magician's Left Hand is a Fujiko episode, and I like the episode, but I think it's a little too focused on this character Luca and these other characters other than Fujiko. While I think Jigen's episode is mostly Jigen, Goemon's episode has that other character, but it's still predominantly Goemon, and Zenigata is predominantly Zenigata, and I think Fujiko, not enough Fujiko. Yeah, I think the episode's fine, but it kind of thinking back on it, I'm like, kind of sus, kind of rude. It was Venice of the Dead. This was fine.
Yeah. Zenigata's episode.
Classic episode.
The zapping operation. I don't.
That's when Nyx's daughter gets kidnapped.
Oh. Yeah, I thought that one was alright.
That's when you see his first murderous rage, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
It gets into some pretty dark subject matter with human trafficking.
Yeah, I'm like, did this episode just open with a little girl being trapped? I like how she interacts with everyone. She's like, I need your phone number! Yeah, it's just she just wants to be friends with everyone. She's no, you need to give me your phone.
Yeah, I'll only keep quiet if I get your digits. And it's just alright.
Which I think that is one of the darker subject matters in the show. And then it follows up with the haunted hotel, which is really fun, and then it's really sad.
Yeah, I don't know if the series dives that dark again.
Also, that I feel like that character design for that woman is a throwback to part 2's Fujiko's aunt or whatever.
Oh,
she looks a lot. Yeah. And even her, yeah.
No, I thought that too.
And then Goemon's episode, then Lovesick Pig. Then there was a 2-part Dream of Italy, which I like the weird dream stuff. I like the character of Rebecca's. I just like Rebecca, so I like this I also think Rebecca's an interesting character because if you introduce a character now, you can give them a bunch of backstory and stuff. Lupin, I don't want any backstory on any of these thieves and stuff, but Rebecca, cool. We'll get to know her dead boyfriend.
Not mad at it in principle.
So, I like it, but I really, really like End of Lupin. I like Zenigata whenever he's Zenigata's I don't know what to fucking do anymore. And Lupin's why don't you just keep being an investigator? He's because no one will ever live up to you.
Yeah. I think overall, I like the old episode that this one is kind of a tribute to a lot more. I think it does a lot of the things this one set out to do, but better.
Okay.
But I do like this one. I think it's a fun little throwback.
And then there's Don't Move the Mona Lisa, which I think is really weird and all over the place. And if you don't like the Da Vinci stuff at the end, it's what the fuck is what? Because it's just the clone of Da Vinci painting another Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Which is very funny to me. But if you don't like the Da Vinci stuff, I get it.
And everyone just is yep, this is an authentic Da Vinci piece. To forget the fact that it's printed on modern canvas and hasn't aged at all. And I'm a praiser who can't tell this, apparently. Or just doesn't care. But it's Lupin.
And then we had the undercover episode where Lupin poses as a teacher in a high school.
That one was okay.
I think that one's really funny at times, and also just kind of a weird one for the series. That one and the soccer one, they feel like they're not quite fitting. I like them both, though. This one, I think there's a scene where all the staff members that are building this bomb to fight the mafia with, instead of just selling the diamond for money, which Lupin does bring up. He's why wouldn't you just get the money? But they're getting ready to fight Lupin, and they're I have a bat! I have sulfuric acid! I have what does she have? She has
she had a
cello.
Yeah, a big bass.
A cello bass. And he's a mop!
Yeah.
And just the way he says a mop is very funny.
And they all just end up beating each other up. And he's too strong.
Lupin literally doesn't move.
Yeah.
But I like that one fine. Then it's Lupin's Day Off, which I think is one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
And then it's The Murdering Marionette, which there are moments in this episode that I really like. I like it's like sometimes all you need is a glance, and they just cuts to them just like just so briefly looking at each other like, oh, we know the plan. I think that's fun. I think it adds to it, and it makes sense for the group.
I thought it was alright.
Yeah, I like them like being trapped in a labyrinth, but I feel like not a lot actually happens in that episode until the end. Mm-hmm. So I like the ending and stuff. But then it's The First Supper, which is a Da Vinci-centric episode. I really like that episode, but like I said, I get it. If you're not a Da Vinci fan, there's like 8 of these, or I guess there's probably only like 6 of the episodes that you're probably just like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I like the Dragon Sleeps Soundly episode, which is the one where they're going after like the big file, the disc.
Okay. I wasn't sure because that is, more tied to Da Vinci,
well, it's
I guess.
tied, I think the bulk of the episode is kind of like, just like, they're trying to get this disc, and M16 is doing a buster call kind of shit. So it's like, okay.
And then it's
the car.
To Hear You Sing Again, which is about a haunted car that's haunted by the soul of a woman in a coma.
Yeah.
And it's like Lupin singing a song, and he doesn't really know where it's from, and it's just like this song that this woman used to sing to her husband. It's just it's a really like heartfelt episode, and it's sad. And it gets sadder as it goes on, and then she dies, and the husband is just like, let's sit and watch the sunrise. And Lupin's like, I lost the car.
Yeah.
Lupin cares. You know what Lupin cares more about than money? Love.
Women.
Yeah.
He's like, I know there's a woman in this car.
Then it's From Japan with Love, with Holmes, a catchy Holmes.
What?
That's Lupin gets captured by the other detective.
I don't recall.
The Fujiko's at like a Japanese bathhouse. They steal a tank. Did you not watch this episode?
I watched all the episodes.
They steal a tank. The guy turns out to be bald. Zenigata's like, the one thing you failed at remembering. You can't underestimate Lupin. There was like a little boy that hung out with Holmes, like, Mr. Holmes, I can't find you, because he's bald now. It was like a policewoman.
I thought that was the murdering marionette.
No, that's Greco. That's the one they're trapped in like a labyrinth together. And they are hypnotized. That's the hypnotizing episode.
Oh, okay. I see. They were both blonde, so I kind of like... I
guess they were.
Blend. Like I said, I watched.
So I'm guessing you didn't care too much about either of those episodes?
They were episodes.
Okay. I like them both fine. And then it was Nonstop, which was the other special episode. And then I'm Going to Get You, Lupin, which Rebecca is trying to steal Lupin.
I thought that one was alright.
Yeah, I like it enough. And then it's the 2-part finale, which I thought was a great finale. But if you don't like Da Vinci, you're not going to like the episodes. Because it's just Da Vinci's playing weird gear. He's not using magic. He's using technology. It's fine. He's using gear technology. To get into people's dreams and overwrite their mind with his. I do like that Zenigata wins because he's just so righteous and he needs to arrest Da Vinci.
Yeah, no, everyone wins.
Everyone wins except Rebecca. Which I think is good for like her character because like in the finale he's like, she's like, I'll get better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like how everyone was like playing at their own game, and Fujiko's like, I know. I'll beat him at poker.
She just cheats.
Yeah.
And Da Vinci's not smart enough to see cheating.
The thing is, it looked like he saw her, but
he's like, I like cheaters.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like, she's too hot.
Maybe. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, he got his ass kicked by everybody except for Rebecca. So.
I like that part, and I like Lupin going after her. Like, I like the stuff. And I like the finale, like the final like scene with him and Rebecca kind of reliving the very beginning of the series, and then her tearing up their marriage certificate. And I thought that final scene was pretty good and a good like goodbye to the character.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked also the throwback when he's trying to get her to remember, and they're like going down that weird fucking dream tower.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, this is the memory that we had. And she's like, oh, yeah, Lupin. Yeah.
I like memory stuff. I like the memory stuff in Woman Called Fujiko Mine, though, so.
Yeah, it vaguely reminded me a little, like, I almost thought they were going to, like, I'm like, am I going to start watching, like, Eternal Lupin of the Spotless Mind here? Like, what? It didn't go that far.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty cool. Like, that aspect of it, just the whole.
I like his weird nightmare castle.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Oh, and then Da Vinci dies because his clone body couldn't possibly hold the genius of Leonardo da Vinci, which is very, very funny to me.
Yeah, no, I thought that was interesting. I was almost wondering, it's like, is that why he wants to implement his mind over, like, everybody in Italy? Is because he's like, that's how many people it would take to hold the genius of Da Vinci?
Maybe. But also, I like the final, like, moments of Da Vinci, too. I like this thing where it's like, no one will even remember me because I'm not the real Da Vinci. And Lupin's like, yeah, you are! He's like,
I'll remember you.
I'll remember you in here.
Yeah.
It's cute. Lupin's a good dude.
Do you think if he ever steals anything from Da Vinci in a future part, he'll be like, remember that time that we fought Da Vinci's clone?
Remember when he took over the minds of everyone in the Italian peninsula and then everyone blamed it on me?
Yeah, they were all just like, yeah, that was Lupin disguised as Leonardo da Vinci. Stealing your dreams.
But yeah. I had a blast. I really, really liked this part.
Yeah, I'd probably say, as a whole, this is probably my second favorite part out of the parts we've seen.
Part 2 being above that, or?
Yeah, part 2 is just...
That's fair. I get it.
I mean, there's a lot of... I won't say there's a lot of bad episodes in part 2, but they're not, like, all great, but just due to the sheer ratio of how big it is, so many of them are great that it's like, yeah.
I guess I can't really say anything until I watch more part 2, because I've only seen those episodes we watched for the podcast.
Watch, getting Jigen with it. It's like the best Jigen episode.
Okay, cool.
I'm like almost done with the dubbed portion of part 2 because I had been watching that in the background a lot.
Sweet.
But yeah, Lupin the Third Part 4. You would give this a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think you would give this one a 7.
Yeah, that's fair. I almost want to give it a 6 just because I really don't like the main plot that it's building around, but I'll give it a 7 because I do like the bulk of the episodes. Yeah, I think that the structure of the show, I like it a lot, and I'm interested to watch the other 2 parts and see how...
I really like most of the animation in the show, but I feel like there's like a couple episodes, like in the second half, that randomly dip in quality.
Yeah, they were probably running out of budget.
And then the last like couple episodes, they're like, okay, put the rest in.
Yeah.
So I feel like the last couple episodes do look good.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. All right, Thomas.
All right.
What is it?
We're watching more Lupin.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're watching movies? We're watching part 5?
We're going to watch 3 movies. We're going to do a sampler of jackets.
Okay.
We're going to watch The Fuma Conspiracy.
I love that one.
We're going to watch Bye Bye Lady Liberty.
Okay, I don't think I've seen that one.
And we're going to watch The Legend of the Golden Babylon.
I think I've seen that one.
I think you have. I know it's like lower on your ranking list, but I have not seen it, and I think it's the only pink jacket era Lupin movie or special.
Think so.
So it's like, check it out. I'll probably sample some part 3 this week just as a taste.
Cool. So, Legend of Golden Babylon, Fuma Conspiracy, and Bye Bye Lady Liberty?
Yep.
Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. They were just the next 3 movies that were made.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's easy. Cool.
And a jacket sampler, because you get all the jackets.
Sweet.
Except for the blue, but that hadn't existed yet.
Righteous.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Woo!
Good. Fireworks are probably it's like 8:30, so it's probably about to start getting a lot of fireworks. So
yeah, it's
good time.
It's the 3rd of July right now.
At least it's not as fucking hot as last week. It's not hot at all, actually. It was like those 2 days, and then it got cold again.
Yeah, it's just like, this is strange.
Yeah.
It shouldn't happen this rapidly. But I'll take it, because I didn't like it being that hot.
Me neither. All right. Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you next week for more Lupin the Third.
On the 3rd.